Greetings, listeners, salutations all. Once again, it is I, Faith, bringing to you the sounds of euphoria within the scenes of carnage on this an illustrious day, or perhaps night, all depending on when you, my friends, are listening in. It's difficult to tell here in my end when all I can really see is black in all directions. But nevertheless, we press on. In today's broadcast, we are discussing the benefits of wire brush hygiene, dreams within dreams, and the ever so fragile balance between time and space. Welcome to the show. Today as well, we are also going to be here in Wolfenstein the Old Blood, escaping jail, the second in command, if I can remember correctly. I cannot remember the dude's name, but that giant dude from the first episode that stops you and you say hot dog to him, yeah, we're going after him. And he threw us in jail at the end of the first episode, so what we're going to do now is we're going to escape. So, as we go along, trying to continue forth in liberating the Nazi regime, let's talk about wire brush hygiene. Ladies and gentlemen, do not worry about that enamel on your teeth. Grab yourself a wire brush and scrub, because let me tell you, there's nothing better than a good, clean, enamel-free toothbrush. You can just hear the sparkling, clean, scraping sound as we speak. Also, my apologies for the Discord logo stuck in the upper left-hand corner. I was playing with the overlay feature the other night while playing some CSGO and forgot to turn it back off, and now it's stuck there. So it'll be gone in the following episodes. I do promise you that. Alrighty, so as we're going along, let's get going here with the dreams within dreams. So everybody dreams. Everybody dreams, no matter what. We always do. It's a natural thing for humans to dream, be it the dreams are remembered or not. I personally speak, personal experience is really all I can technically go by because I am not anyone else. But I don't dream all that often in the sense that I don't remember the dreams. So it's very difficult for me to relate with those that have like really peculiar dreams. Well, that being said, I happened to get up one day, was recording some gameplay for the videos and ended up thinking to myself, hey, I'm tired. I'm gonna go take a nap. So I did that before I headed off to work the next day, and it's funny because I woke up remembering a dream. Oh, he woke up. Oh, dang it. Oh, well. We're gonna retry that one. But yeah, so I woke up and I remembered the dream that I had just had. And ironically enough, I'll tell you what the dream was about, of course. But like ironically enough, is in relation to the dream, my left arm was up above and under my head and asleep, like completely just numb and tingly. Whew, that feeling, let me tell you, it was both invigorating and like mildly painful at the same time. But anyway, so this dream that I had involved a race. I'm not sure what for, but the rewards were for the top 4 placements. There were a couple of people that I was racing with. I don't remember the capacity in which we were racing, be it like, cars, buggies, etc. But at any rate, the race starts, and as we're going along, my brain is jumping from moment to moment and ends up skipping to a section where we crash and I get thrown from the vehicle that we are in. And as like we all recover and jump back in and whatnot, and I'm just too far away from where the car ended up being after the crash, so I hollered to my teammates. I'm just like, go, finish the race, win, you got this, cheering them on no matter what. And meanwhile, as I'm standing there cheering on my teammates, this dude in a wheelchair is apparently part of the race, because the dude is just zipping right at me, comes screeching to a halt just before running over to me, and he basically is like, yo, you need a lift? And I was sure, why not? So the dude has this bench type like object on the back of his wheelchair, which I'm assuming is for like carrying things, groceries, books, whatever you may have you. Meanwhile, he had lifted himself up off of his seat with his arms, uh, and in an attempt to like have me slide underneath him and we sit like on each other's laps kind of thing to both be in the actual chair, which would have been better off in the long run, I would assume, in hindsight from this dream, just be based off of um, the following events that happened. But instead, I just decided I to go and sit on the seat in the back, and I sat down, prepared for the rest of the trip. As we were in, and he starts, pumping his arms, getting the wheels going. We're going. Feel a little wobble and whatnot as we're going along. But briefly, I put my foot down to see if like they would dangle, is to where I could, actually just relax and let the dude do the work. Well, actually, they didn't really dangle at all. They touched the ground, and I slowed us down a little bit, and it is what it is. But as soon as I did that, I was like, okay, I got this great idea. I'm just going to start running backwards and speed us up astronomically to the point where all he has to do is just steer. So I lean back towards him, and I'm just like, yo, dude, we're going to win this now. Let's go. Just steer. And I just start booking it. So, as I proceed to run backwards while he steers us on a collision course with the finish line, we're both hell-bent on victory, careening around corner after corner, close calls with traffic. I think we nearly crashed once or twice, like running into the side of a car or whatnot. But then as we see the finish line in sight, we're racing pell-mell to the finish line, we end up crashing and collapsing. As we're collapsing, I grab him to try and get over the finish line in a roll, and as we're doing that, we fall, and my other arm ends up crossing the finish line, placing us in fourth. As we're falling, all the other people that had already finished the race were pretty much watching this whole event happen, see us land and my arm cross the finish line, and they all erupt into applause. We all made it, got fourth place. The team that I was on won too, and it was just dope. And I have no idea what the purpose of the dream was whatsoever, nor do I really care. It was nice to, remember a really bizarre, weird dream where me and this dude in a wheelchair decided to just kick butt in a race and just come back from being on the ground to being in one of the winners. It was good. And dreams are fascinating as well, because I feel in a small way, kind of as like a headcanon type fashion, that dreams are a mild glimpse into a form of reality that we don't actually experience in this reality. In the sense that, like, say for instance, we have our third dimension. Well, say you dream about, monkeys chasing flying pigs. That's actually in, say, the 29th dimension. Something along those lines. Like, it's an alternative reality that we are experiencing in our minds simply because we have somehow spiritually or metaphysically, I think that's, yeah, gone beyond our physical forms and experienced that other dimension. And we experience it in dreams, which is why they don't affect us, which is why they don't hurt us. If we say we fall, we wake up instead of actually feeling serious injury. But that's why I think in certain dreams that you're intensely invested in, like, say for instance a movie where you just want to just jump in there and be a part of the story, and you're crying with the characters and laughing with the characters, like that kind of a thing, where you wake up and something in your reality is altered after the fact of that dream being completed. Like for my in the instance of my dream, my arm being asleep, my left arm being asleep was kind of just like, oh wow, I really did crash. Holy crap! Like I can feel it. And what's ironic is this dream was about 2 days ago now. My left arm is still a little sore. So it makes me wonder how involved in this dream I actually was. And regardless of it being true or not, of the whole, alternative realities, I think it's a very fun concept to imagine. It's all a part of the imagination that we were given, like, it's just a beautiful concept, and it's a brilliant thing to have fun with. Hence the videos that we make and y'all watch, because it's my imagination flowing forth for you all to enjoy. Now, as well, the fragile balance between time and space. Now this is a... oh man. This is a topic of conversation that gets both weird and incredibly theoretical, but as well as, I guess, in a manner of speaking, I can somewhat base this within science. Now, will I in this video? No, because I haven't taken the full time to actually dive into the science behind time and space and their correlation, let alone actually interested enough in diving in, making sure my information is correct, and then sharing it and regurgitating it to everybody else. Which it will happen. I cannot begin to express to you how obsessive I am with time and space. It's the concept just it. I like thinking about it to the point where I get a headache because there's a constant. There's always a variable, you know, like the butterfly effect that people like to talk about in the Time Machine movie, or butterfly effect itself. You know, movies like those and books and along the lines of time. There's always a butterfly effect, which just doesn't make any sense. Cause like, who cares about a butterfly? But there's the simplistic effect that a single step in an environment that is not your own can have on all of humanity or all of history in that reality is just mind-boggling. And to think about the variables involved in just as a simple action of walking out the front door in a reality that you are not supposed to walk out the front door, the ramifications that could have is astronomical. Just opening the door could kill a bug, which could harm another animal's food resource, which could then kill that animal, which would then harm another animal's food resource, which could then cause some animal to go extinct. Like, you don't know, and the intensity behind that is just awe-inspiring, absolutely awe-inspiring. So a lot of the science fiction that I like to dive into usually involves alternate realities. Ah, I missed. Dang it. We'll keep trying. Gotta get that goal. Trying to get as many of these collectibles as possible because I want to try and get as many of the achievements as we're going through this run as possible. Because any game that we play, be it recorded or otherwise, my attempt and goal is to reach a 50 percentile rating or above on the achievement collection. Because I don't like my average game completion rate being at like 25-35% right now on my Steam account. I I have more self-worth than that. But anyway, 24%. It went down. It used to be 20. We're going to fix that, don't worry. Anyway, as we're going along and failing to grab this collectible, oh my goodness, this is embarrassing. Excuse me. I just want to discuss as well the, uh, it's like, for instance, this game right here is a perfect definition, a perfect example of time and space. Um, this game takes place in a time where yes, finally, this game takes place in a time where Nazis have, or the Nazi party has succeeded in their push for power. Their regime has taken essential control over Europe and America, and it is my job to eradicate that and save those that would otherwise be free if it weren't for the Nazis. Excuse me. So, like, if that were to actually have happened, we very well may all be Nazis at this point in time, all within the Nazi party. And which, ironically enough, on paper, that and communism really aren't the end of the world, I guess you could say, as far as political standings. Because you gotta, like socialism and whatnot, like the very, very little, because this is why I don't take too, oh, really? I could have just crawled up here? Boy. Don't take my political standings in the remotest possible of like factual opinion. It is nothing more than an opinion that I have. I firmly do not agree with any of the American governmental current standings whatsoever. I find our government to be insanely corrupt and unfortunately very stuck in a way of thinking and actions that do not help their people that they say they stand for. It does nothing more than fill specific people's pockets and stroke very specific people's egos and offer power to the worst possible options known. Uh, when people that people in power should be people that don't want power, but people that want good for the world, the right things for all 7 billion people on this planet, not just the 300 million within the confines of a North American continent, and specifically the United States of America, a land taken from those that were here and born and raised and evolved and grew and expanded from here. Like there's a whole spiel. I'll get there eventually, guys. I promise. There will be many, many times that I will probably vent about random nonsensical garbage at any point in time in these videos. But so one of the greatest features of this series now, though, is the options here to be sneaky, or you can go ham, spraying lead everywhere, or a mixture of the two, which you will see throughout my video series. I mix the two of them together almost interchangeably, because there are certain areas like now that you just really don't want to run and gun because you're just going to get splattered in the face, and then other times when I'm just facing a bunch of soldiers, I can just pop them in the head, and it's a quick one tap, move on, carry on, finish up the battle real quick, and get to the objective. But I love this game series. Is great. It's beautiful. It's fluid. It has a very engaging storyline, and I've been impressed by it day in and day out that I play it. And as such, I cannot wait. I am very excited for Wolfenstein 2 this October. Very, very excited. Oh, ooh, we got some doggies. So, as we're wrapping up the video today and reaching the conclusion of today's episode, I just wanted to say thank you all for watching and listening. I appreciate it. We have little else to talk about in today's day and age other than that which is problematic. Because, in a manner, very little is not problematic with the world. But equally so, there are many things that are great. And I will not say that I know all of them. Also, don't feel bad for that dog. I love dogs, but these are no longer dogs. These are creatures of tormented creatures that just need to be put down and saved from the torture that they have had to endure. Even though, yes, they're just video games. It's whatever. It's just code, Face. It's just code on a line. Don't feel for a code. Nah, dude, I feel for all the code, man. Like you got your loved ones and your significant others of decades upon decades. You know what? I got my games, and I got a very special place in my heart for some of that source code, like the Rocket League source code. Oh, if I could see that code for myself, I would be a happy person. I'm gonna look that up sometime, just for fun. Read the code for Rocket League. That would hurt. Probably hurt my brain. I wouldn't even understand half of it, but it'd be worth it because I'd be able to see the under the skin, in a manner of speaking, of this game that I love so dearly. But anyway, as a final note, guys, I just want you to know that this has been a Silverface Studios production, and the use of any names, materials, or content in this series are completely unprotected and free for use. But don't be rude. Ask politely if it's something that I created. Whereas if it's something that my those that I support in the game industry, specifically in this instance Bethesda and id Software, don't steal crap. That's just not cool. The voice of our show is Face. Written, rewritten, and then written again every single time by Anonymous. The future is bulletproof, the aftermath is secondary. Until next time, farewell.